Hi everyone, I'm Arabelle Gregoire and I'm with GuHu Media and I'm here with Glenn Hanna.
Hi.
He is Assistant Program Head of the Justice Studies program, but not only that, he is a part of the study abroad. So it's nice to meet you today.
Nice to meet you.
I just have a few questions. So where in particular are you going to be taking students on the study abroad program?
Well, the trip this year is going to be to Scotland, and as I like to say, a little side trip to London afterwards, because you can't go over there without going down to the city at least for a few days.
Of course. What are the benefits if students join the study abroad program?
In many ways, it's an adventure, and it's one that you can do when the adventure has been sort of planned for you. So I go over and I do a pre-trip. I'll know the area. I know exactly where the connections are, what has to be done, and what it is that we want to see. I'm a firm believer in learning by osmosis on these trips. So it is an academic program. You have to write me a paper and everything was done. There's some tests and everything. But you're going to go over there and we're going to expose you to a lot of the culture, a lot of the history. The framework of this particular course is from the Magna Carta to the Charter. So like 800 years ago in some muddy field, this dude got a pen and a piece of vellum and he signed this thing called the Magna Carta. That was King John. And what he agreed to was that even the king had to follow the rules, so nobody was above the law. And we have something similar to that here in Canada now. It's called the Charter, which is a constraint on government authority, as the Magna Carta was. So that's the framework that we're going to look at this thing. So we'll be doing things like looking at the courts, looking at political institutions, looking at the police. But we're going to be going up into the Highlands. We'll be looking probably at a distillery or two to see if the Scots really do make the best whiskey in the world, which of course they don't, the Irish do. But I'm willing to let them try and convince me otherwise. So it'll be a great adventure. And when we're done in Scotland, we fly into Edinburgh. We'll do Edinburgh. We'll do Glasgow. We'll get into the Highlands, see some of the lakes and the mountains. A lot of the cultural things to do in Scotland. Then we're going to take the train down to London. I'm going to go with students to the Tower of London. We'll go to City Law School, which we have a partnership with. We'll hear from some of the law professors, the courts, Jack the Ripper tour. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes, although he's a fictional character, I think it'll be a fun thing. Do a tour in regards to sites that are mentioned in Conan Doyle's novels of Sherlock Holmes. And of course, wonderful shopping. And if we're going to go to a distillery in Scotland, then equal points to the people in London. We'll probably go for tea.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, since you've been doing it for 5 years, do you have any good stories or memories you want to share?
Every trip has been awesome. Was a student who, after he came back, he sent me an email and he said, I went to a family barbecue and they were asking me about my trip to Ireland, and I started showing them photographs. And as I showed them a photograph, I started to describe what the photograph was about, the historical context, how it applied in the evolution of the culture in Ireland, where it fit within the current political structures within Ireland. And then I looked around and I realized my family was sitting there at the barbecue with their chin down on their chest going, listening to me. And I suddenly realized I learned a lot. And he didn't appreciate at the time. He was just having fun. He didn't appreciate at the time how much he had absolutely learned. And that's why I like to talk about learning through osmosis. We expose you to a lot of things. We talk about a lot of things. But it's not like sitting in class listening to a lecture. You're out actually seeing and doing and smelling and hearing and touching and tasting. Yeah.
Truthfully. So my last question is, in 30 seconds or less, I want you to give your best promo of why the students should join you on an adventure to Scotland and London.
We'll have fun. You'll enjoy it. Come.
So thank you, Glenn, so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. So students, I do urge you to sign up for the study abroad program. You guys are making great memories, some new friendships, and also learning new cultures and traditions. Thank you.
Thanks.